They did that on Gardening Australia last
Oh,
night.
okay.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed
I
that.
thought, oh, how amazing.
So basically you need to get a pot that's quite deep and a little bit wide. You don't want to have a too shallow pot, or if the shallow is, you might only do 2 layers. And then we're going to do 3 layers of bulbs. So I've got an image here of what I'm using. So the first layer, or the bottom layer that goes in, will be the bulbs that flower the latest. So I've got the Dordogne tulips, and then the middle layer will be the hyacinth, and then the earliest flowering bulbs will be the hoop petticoat, the mini daffodils. So that combination should work really nicely between the seasons and give me probably, I would think, close to probably 2 months or more of flowers. So start off with the tulips. Again, the tulips are nice and pointy, so they tell you exactly where to plant them. And I've already got soil in the bottom, so sort of to there. Now it's amazing when you do this how they find their way through. So I'm just evenly spacing these. I always sort of do the 4 points, do like north, south, east, west, and then fill in the gaps.
How many are you going to put in there?
I think I've got 12.
Okay.
12 tulips.
And then I'll just do 3 in the centre.
So when you say you want a deep pot, you're not planting them all the way down to the bottom.
No, they're just planting
Is
here.
that for the roots or?
That's, yeah, so you just leave from there down will be for the tulip roots. So they are deeper than what you sort of, what is recommended. Sorry.
We think it's the garlic.
Oh, is it? Yeah. I will go outside. Yeah, it gets on you. And then just make sure they're all still standing upright. So try to put just a light layer in first, just to anchor those bulbs in so they don't get knocked over. Because if they're pointing downwards or to the side, they won't grow. Or at least they'll be odd in their growth. And then, yeah, you can go in. Probably you need about 3 to 4 centimetres of soil over the top.
And that's just premium potting.
Yeah. And then I'll go with the hyacinth. So these are a much thicker bulb. Oh, sorry, a much bigger bulb. And again, I'm just going, sort of doing the north, south, east, west points, and then filling in the gaps on the sides. So I don't know if anyone has seen all the bulb plantings in the Northern Hemisphere and wonder how they're so amazing. Well, they do just cram so many in, so it's just en masse. And they do a lot of the time leave them in, and then as soon as they look daggy, they have others there to replace them, but they do just cram them in a lot more than what any garden book will ever tell you to do. And then these little hoop petticoat daffodils are very tiny, but again, I'll just do the same. I've got 10 of them. Very delicate looking. Oops. You need to just leave enough gap at the top of the pot so that you can water it. You don't want to have the soil too high that the water just floods out of the pot. You need to be able to at least probably have 1 to 2 centimetres gap at the top so the water can, when you water, you can let it fill up a little bit. Now I would put this straight away into a nice sunny spot just so the pot can be as warm as possible. And just water it. Again, the mister is actually probably not a bad idea, but you need to make sure it is getting down to that bottom layer. So maybe a watering can that's got a rose head on it, that's a gentle spray, or just be really careful with the hose. So I've just left that gap at the top there about 2 centimetres, and that just allows you to water. Now I don't think, and I've never tried it, but trying to do a layer of pansies over the top of that I think would be too much, like you won't end up getting everything coming up. So that's just going to have to be an empty pot of soil, maybe with a bit of mulch on top for the next sort of 2-3 months before you get any sign of much growth.